In the Kingdom of Eldoria, power determined a person's destiny. The gifted became mages. The strongest became knights. Those born into royal and noble families were given the finest teachers, weapons, and opportunities. But in a quiet village called Ravenbrook lived a boy who had none of these things. His name was Yelek. He was an orphan, raised by his grandfather, Edran, in a small wooden house at the edge of the village. Yelek had no famous family name, no wealth, and no noble bloodline. Yet there was something unusual about him. At 17, Yelek was already an extraordinary swordsman. Every morning, before the village awakened, he trained alone in the forest. His sword moved faster than the eye could follow, cutting through wooden targets with frightening precision. But Yelek never boasted about his abilities. Whenever villagers praised him, he simply smiled. His grandfather had taught him one lesson above everything else. Power does not make a man great. What he chooses to do with it does. Yelek lived by those words. But there was another secret he carried. Yelek possessed magic, not ordinary magic. He could command fire and thunder, two elements rarely found together. When he combined them with his swordsmanship, his abilities became almost impossible to match. But Edran had always warned him to keep his powers hidden. Yelek never understood why. One morning, after training, he asked his grandfather about his parents. Who were they? Edran fell silent. You've asked me that many times, and you've never answered. The old man looked away. Some stories are better left buried. Before Yelek could press him further, the sound of horses echoed through the village. Hey! Magnificent black carriage bearing the golden crest of Eldoria entered Ravenbrook. A royal messenger stepped out, followed by two armored knights. He looked across the crowd. Which one is Yelek? Yelek stepped forward. I am. The messenger handed him a sealed letter. By order of the crown, you have been invited to study at the Royal Academy of Arcane and Martial Arts. The village fell silent. The Royal Academy was the greatest school in the kingdom, reserved for children with exceptional abilities, mostly princes, princesses, noble heirs, and children from wealthy families. Yelek stared at the letter in disbelief. Then he looked at Edran. His grandfather wasn't smiling. He was terrified. They found you, Edran whispered. Yelek frowned. Who found me? Edran said nothing. Yelek broke the seal. Inside was a single sentence. The kingdom has finally found the child of flame and storm. Yelek stared at the words. For 17 years, he had believed he was simply an orphan from a forgotten village. Now, for the first time, he wondered if his entire life had been hiding a secret. And somewhere beyond Ravenbrook, thunder rolled across a cloudless sky.